YM3. We're here with my boy Dyson Daniels, former New Orleans Pelican, now an Atlanta Hawk. Dyson, how are you? Thank you for joining the show, brother.
No worries. I'm happy to be here. So let's chat.
We'll kick it off, and I think Tommy wants me to ask this question, and just definitely want you to think this one out. Who has helped you the most with your fashion sense since you've gotten to the NBA?
I've struggled with my fashion my rookie year. You know this, and you definitely gave me some tips. I had some bad fits, had some okay fits, and I think now that I'm starting to really get a sense of style and stuff like that, you've been my mentor, man. I've looked at your fits, what you've been wearing, and I was actually going to message you the other day because I seen that what was that blue Ford thing you wore?
Oh yeah, it was a racing jacket.
That was really nice. I was going to ask where you got that from, but you definitely inspired me on the fits, and you pointed me in the right direction. You told me when I wore some bad fits. You told me when I wore good fits. So you was like my vet when it comes to fits. So I appreciate you for that, and I'm gonna give you flowers for that one.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Can we clap that up here? Clap that up, everybody.
Can we talk about the worst fit?
It was a game in January of my second year, Dyson's rookie year. We were in Detroit, and I just remember he walked into the locker room, and we were all talking, and then we looked and saw his fit, and the conversation stopped. It was one of the worst fits you have ever seen. And just to paint a picture for the audience before we show the picture on, in the show, just imagine you're in a closet and it's a bunch of checkerboard pants, sweatpants, graffiti shirt, graffiti hoodie, and then a big puffer coat, and just close your eyes and then pick something from those. And that's literally what Dyson did for his fit. And it was hard to look at.
Is that fair?
It was. It's definitely fair. And, it was one of those ones where, I knew it was a bad fit coming out. I knew that it wasn't going to sit well with some of my teammates, and they let me know about it. Like good people, I would prefer to hear if I'm wearing a bad fit than just let me go with it and then do it again. So they definitely let me know it was a bad fit. I definitely knew it was a bad fit, and I've learned from it. Nothing like it happening again. But yeah, it was too much colors going on. Some graffiti pants, it was just wild. Just one of them ones.
Dyson, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, how would you rate Trae as a teammate?
Trae's a 10.
No way, dude.
You don't have to lie. You don't have to lie,
no
bro.
way.
You don't have to lie.
No, this is an honest show. No way. We know he's not a 10.
Show. You don't have to lie.
If I'm gonna be honest, Trae's a 9.5.
Wow.
He's a half an asshole sometimes, but I ain't gonna lie. Trae just a good dude to be around. He's a good dude to be around. He's always, you're always gonna have a good time with Trae. Talk some shit. The shit I like doing, Trae likes doing. So Trae's a good dude.
Yeah, many times we walk into a store on the road and he would be there, and I'm just like, bro, you could have literally just said something, but yeah, it is what it is. So
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
We were talking about this before, but can you walk the audience through the Melbourne, just the Melbourne hoop scene overall? Because I feel like, the last couple of years, there's been a lot of fascination with you. There's been obviously a lot of great players that have come from Australia over the years. But just your experience growing up there and how it sort of shaped you.
Yeah, I think, growing up in Melbourne, Australia, well, I'm actually from Bendigo, but Melbourne is kind of where I played a lot of my basketball. And, it's just it's different to America, and how they have the high school AAU, that kind of program. In Australia, we have junior programs, we have clubs that we play in. So it's you have under 10s, under 12s, under 14s, under 16s. You kind of play with your whole club growing up. And, that's what I did. And, I think a lot of the talent, in Australia doesn't really get recognized because we don't have the social media, people that they do in America, with all the mixtapes and stuff. And you kind of know in America who the players are when you're growing up. And Australia, there's a place called the COE, which is the Center of Excellence and NBA Academy, which is kind of, if you're one of the better players in Australia, it's what you go through to 16, 17, 18 years old to really, develop. It's basically a boarding school for basketball. And you go there, and that's how you know get your college offers and your NBL, G League Ignite for me, like whatever it may be. But I think there's a lot of talent that goes down in Australia that doesn't really get recognized. But I think the world stage in general is starting to become more. It's getting recognized a lot more. You see in the NBA nowadays, there's a lot of really good, European and Australian talent and stuff like that. So it's definitely starting to be put on the map a little more.
Did you have any of the, the current or former NBA guys that were mentors, or you just, you talked to growing up, or you looked at growing up as, when you were younger playing as sort of an inspiration?
Yeah, I think for me it was Matthew Dellavedova. He was when he was playing with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He got a championship over there with LeBron and stuff. And I think growing up, he was kind of my idol. He's from like 30 minutes from where I'm from. So, I mean, we both grew up in country Victoria, and I did like his camps growing up, and we did like a peak commercial growing up. So I kind of had like a connection with him, and he'd always check in me on, Instagram DMs and stuff. So he was like kind of the guy I had growing up. And then as well, Josh Giddey, like we grew up playing with each other, against each other. We've had a really good relationship since our under 12s days. So those are probably the two guys.
It feels like this might be oversimplification, but it feels like a lot of whether it's Bogut, Dellavedova, Joe Ingles, feels like a lot of the players if they do come to the NBA are sort of known for their toughness. And they come over and they're like scrappy. It's like, JJ and I used to joke with, like, he thought Joe was such an asshole, and they're great friends, but he was like, Joe talks a lot of shit. But I'm curious if there is like if there's something not something in the water over there, but there's something where it's like, in order to make the jump, you got to have that level of toughness. Because it does feel like a thing that there is a trend with most of those players that they do have that in common.
Yeah, I think so. And I wouldn't say that's the whole of Australia, but the Center of Excellence and NBA Academy, which all these players that you just named have come through, that's kind of where they teach the toughness and the hardness. And you look at most of the Australian basketballs that have come through, like they're not athletes, they're not the greatest athletes or whatever. They work hard, they're tough. That's how they make it. And growing up, playing, I was at the Center of Excellence for 2 years, which is like I said, it's like a basketball boarding school. And they were tough on us there. We were up early, 6 a.m. doing training sessions, 2 training sessions a day in the weight room. Like, if we didn't come to practice taped, then we'll run and, if we got punished, like we'd be out in the football field running, like in the rain. Like, there's that kind of toughness on us, and like kind of just, taught us to, play like grown men in a way. And I think, having that growing up, kind of helps you to understand what it's going to be like to play at the next level. And they preach like, this is Australia, this is not America. Like the talent level here isn't as good as what is over there. So if you're going to make it over there, you got to have something different. You got to have that, that dog in you. You got to be tough. You got to, run through a wall for someone. So it's kind of how it is taught in Australia, I would say.
I would also add that Australians, they all work and play very hard. Like every single one that I've met, they play like they, work on their game. They play hard. They're a little scrappy. But when it comes to outside of basketball, those dudes are
in
nuts.
The streets. Yeah.
Those dudes are nuts.
If you can hang out with Australian for a week,
there has not been one calm Australian that I've met that plays basketball. Not a single one.
Yeah.
Trey, did you ever think about going
to Australia?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Has there been any? There hasn't been any. I'm trying to think if there's been anything that's presented itself where you would have had to go for something.
Now, what? Come on now. I was undersized 2-guard in high school. Farthest I was going was Walt Disney World for Super Showcase.
I feel like they should, if they're going to do NBA Paris and all that, like they should do NBA Melbourne.
That's such a far flight. And then you going for like 2 games. You come back.
Hey, coming soon.
I was going to say, Dyson's going to bring it.
Oh my goodness. That's going to be a long flight.
Could we talk before we get to the Ignite stuff and the draft stuff? I wanted to bring up the Aussie Rules football briefly, just because this has been written about, so it's not a secret. But you were very good at that as well, and there was a world where you could have potentially gone pro in that. How do you think that has helped your basketball experience overall, just that skill set growing over there?
Yeah, I mean, I think, talking on toughness as well, Australian football, a lot of people I know that have grown up to play in the NBA have played Australian football at some stage. And, it's hard to explain what it is. It's like a mix between rugby, NFL, like you kick the ball, you handball the ball. It's like a very endurance game. But I mean, growing up, I played that for about 6-7 years. And, I got to a point where I had to choose either basketball or football. And I knew that, my dad being a basketball player, and me having the dream to play in the NBA was what I wanted to do at the end of the day. But giving up football was hard because, there was some point in my life where I enjoyed playing football more than I did playing basketball. And I got to a point where I had to give it up. But I think, just some things I can say in similarities, like reading the game, like in football, knowing where the ball's going to go, being in the right position.
Hacking.
Yeah, attacking, being, putting your head up.
No, hacking. We're not talking about attacking. Hacking. That's what we're saying too.
There's good hacks and there's bad hacks. So.
Yeah, you're a hack too. Let's make sure we put that on the record as well.
Yeah,
let's unpack that, Trey. Say more.
Let's just say practices were like very physical with Dyson, and it's like, bro, we're in practice. Like, please.
Referees in practice, so you get away with some stuff.
We are in practice, and he over here grabbing me. He's not letting me hold my jersey. I'm like, yo, bro, we're in practice. Like, can you please calm down?
Yeah, we got to be careful with them over in New Orleans. They're fragile.
So I want to ask about the Ignite stuff and draft night, but from your experience, from your first NBA practice, did you jump in like that? Were you just jumping in hot?
To be honest, if I could have my time back, I would have come in hotter. Like I would have come in hungrier. I would have come in, wanting it more. And I would say I came in as a nice guy. I came in, trying to, just fit in a little bit. Whereas if I had my chance back, I'd probably come in, hungrier, more physical. And yeah, I think as I got, my years went on in New Orleans, I got more physical. I learned more. And but yeah, I would say from day one, if I had my chance back, I would have come in hungrier.
Do you remember day one, Dyson, Trey?
Day one, Dyson, not really. I remember he for sure was very timid at first. Like, it was very like, all right, I'm going to just swing the ball, like, whatever, blend in. It's like, bro, you're the number 8 pick. Like, 8, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the number 8.
I remember Trey telling me that. We were in training camp one day, and like I was just, I was playing timid. I was swinging the ball, I was doing all the right things, like just, fitting in. And then Trey come up to me, he's like, hey, you're the number 8 pick. You got to go out there and be aggressive. So,
like, we can go get somebody else to come and just swing the ball. Like, my cousin from Durham, North Carolina, he can come and swing the ball and play some defense. Like, we're not drafting you 80 for you to be doing that. We need you to make a difference.
Exactly.
Did you have a moment early on your rookie, like sort of a welcome to the NBA moment, like a moment where this just like, shit, this is different?
I think my first real NBA moments was it was a game against Dallas, and we were playing against Luka, and it was just like kind of going up against someone. Like I came in and like I got 2 quick fouls just because I was there playing hard, and like I wasn't really aware of like the NBA and how people were drawing fouls all the time, and it took me a little bit to get settled. And but that were my first real minutes. My welcome to the NBA moment was playing against Devin Booker when Trey knows what Devin Booker does to the Pelicans. So.
No. You were on the team too. Now.
Yeah, I was on the team, but I'm not.
You were the main matchup. Let's make sure we point that out. You were the main matchup for those 3 games.
Yeah, that was my welcome to the NBA moment. He went off. So let's just say that.
How would you describe, Trey, because you were there too, how would you describe for the audience at home when this is your you've been in the NBA for a month or two, you're still getting and a guy like Book is going crazy like that. How do you keep your bearings? Like, how do you not just get frazzled?
You're saying my advice to him?
No, I'm saying you too, because you've had your own of this.
Put it this way. Actually, we played Devin Booker. So we played him 2 games. Or it was like a game, and then we played someone else, and we went there and played him again. And the first game, I think I held him to 16 points. Like, he was my matchup. And then the next 3 games was like 54, 52, and 58. So I think I set something off on him that he wasn't happy about. So, yeah.
I would just say the biggest thing in the NBA is you're playing against the best players in the world, and there's some times where it doesn't matter if you're playing perfect defense. Offense is going to be good. Offense is going to be good defense. It's not baseball, so you just have to live with that. Obviously, you want to make it tough on them, but there's just sometimes people get into a mode where there's nothing that you're going to be able to do to stop them. But at the end of the day, you have to make it tough and understand. All right, they're going to make shots. This is why they get paid the salary they get paid now, because they are specialists at their job. The biggest thing is staying even, keeping your head, and being like, all right, we're going to go fight for this next possession and the next possession. And then, you know what? They score too many times, you have to hard foul. Like, it just is what it is. So it's like, you can't just be giving up 60 and like there's no hard fouls, nothing. Like, it's tough.
Well, I was gonna ask you about this. You guys played Kai last night, obviously played Dallas last night, and he's one. It feels like Trae and I talked about this, but he's one that even for the best NBA guards, it feels like sometimes he'll do stuff, and you're like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do with that?" And it feels like he has a couple of those every night. This is not new for you playing him at this point, you know. But is there something with a guy like that, with a handle like that, where your approach is different?
Yeah, I think the approach is different for everyone you play. And, you know, you play a guy like Kyrie, you know, one of the best ball handlers of all time. He makes tough shots. And the thing with playing against Kyrie is, like, you're going to have to make him make tough shots. Like, you're not going to be able to block his shot much. You're not going to be able to, you know, stop him. But it's just about making him take tough shots. And, you know, if he makes it, you say, tip your hat, say, do it again and play better defense. But, I mean, everyone in the NBA is different in how you guard them. That's why you got to scout. That's why, you know, every game plan's different. But, you know, you can play good defense for 3 quarters, and then they could have one big quarter. They go off, get hot, and they get sitting there with a 30, 35-point game. Like, that's just how these superstars work. Like, it's how it is. It's just, I think you can have plays that are going to get there 30, but like 30 looks different for some people. Like, you can make Giannis 30 hard, or you can have an easy 30. Like, it's really different. And I don't think the stat sheet always reflects like the defense. Like, sometimes you can hold someone to 20, but they could have 15 assists. Like, they had a really good game, and it's different for everyone. So that's what the scouts for. That's why we come in with the approach on how we're going to guard, you know, everyone on a different night.
Also, too, I thought another rookie moment that he was going to name, because it's a joint moment with B as well, is the Lakers game his rookie year, where and I'm blaming Larry Nance for this. I'm going to just say it right now, I'm blaming Larry Nance for us losing this game, because we got the rebound. We're up 3 in LA. This is against the Lakers. And Dyson gets the ball, a foul. And Larry looks at me and says, "That's a good win." He said we're up 3 with probably 3 seconds left, maybe 2 seconds left, and Dyson's going to the line. I'm like, yo, bro, chill. Anthony Davis taps Dyson on the chest, and he says, "You been here before?" And I'm just like, bro, leave him alone. Like he tries to do the whole
No,
thing.
I haven't been here before.
Like, no, he had it. Like, obviously, we know this, but we're not going to say that. And so he missed the first one, and then they start clapping. It gets loud in the Staples Center. Sorry, crypto.com arena. And then he misses the second one, and they call a timeout. And now we're just like, oh, goodness gracious, we got to get a stop. Didn't get a stop. I might have messed up a switch, and then dude hit a 3 to send it to overtime. We lost to overtime. But that was a very rough moment, I will say.
That day will forever haunt me. I'm not going to lie. And then for some reason, the person that hit the 3 to send it to OT was Matt Ryan. And then we signed Matt Ryan like a month later. So, I mean, I'm happy Matt's a good dude and didn't bring it up that much. But, you know, that moment will forever haunt me.
He brought up to me. So he didn't say he must have been saying to you. He brought up to me. So
are you at the point where you will and we don't have to like say who it is, but like you'll start circling guys that you want to lock up, that you want to defend, A, because there's like something like that has happened, or B, you just are like sometimes like it's a challenge, you know, it's a guy like Book is like one of the great players in the world. And so you're being like, all right, I know I'm not going to be able to stop him completely, but if I can slow him down, it feels like a personal win.
Yeah, I definitely have people circled. I'm not going to say it because, I add a little fuel to the fire.
It's probably smart.
I mean, you just told me like probably about 10 minutes ago, so you don't have to hide it now.
Yeah, there's people circled. There's definitely people circled. Let's put it that way.
Did you watch when you were growing up and you were watching the NBA? Were there guys you tried to emulate from a defensive standpoint?
I would never say I wasn't I would never say I watched people defensively when I was growing up. But like my favorite player was Russell Westbrook. I just try to like have his mentality. And then when I got to the NBA, that's when I really started to, watch people defensively. And some guy I watch a lot is a guy, Jaden McDaniels, for Minnesota, just how he uses his length, fires through screens and stuff like that. And, he's a smart defender as well. So he's probably one of the big guys that I watch.
Trey, did you watch anyone defensively?
Not until I got to the NBA. I didn't play defense until I got to Virginia. So that was probably like 21. So like 21 years of my life, I didn't play defense. So, I was actually 20.
Are there guys, I mean, like Dyson, you've been getting a lot of love, so you're not on this list, but like, are there guys now where you guys are like, they really lock up? There's somebody who, and I feel like Jaden used to be like that too, but then when they went on their run, he started to sort of get noticed as well, but that are kind of like that next level of, when you're playing them, they're really gonna lock up, every night, but maybe they're on a team that isn't winning that much, or they're just not getting as much attention.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of underrated defenders that don't get as much attention. If I was to name a few, I'd say Kamara for Portland. He's a really good defender.
He does lock up.
SGA, he doesn't he gets all his love for his offense, but he can defend. Like he's really good with his hands. Like he pokes balls loose all the time. Like guy like him. Those two that come to my head straight away. But there's a lot of people out there that don't get love for their defense that's really good. But I think the reason they don't get love is like people don't appreciate people who lock up, like no steals, no blocks. They just make people take contested shots, like get nothing easy. Whereas you see the people that get the steals, the blocks and stuff that kind of get more of the noise. So.
What do you think of Great Barrier Thief?
Larry's the nickname genius. Like he gave me something. He gave me one in New Orleans.
He made that one?
Yeah, he made that one. So
it's really good.
I really don't like it now.
You don't like it? I love it. I think it's really good.
It's not bad. It just symbols Australia and a thief, I guess. So,
Now that I know who's behind it, I definitely don't like it. Like, I didn't have an opinion on it before. I was like, yeah, he locks up, but I didn't have an opinion on it. But now Larry's the one who made it up. I don't even like it at all.
Better than my other one, so I'm going to go with this one. Sure.
You don't like Dice Spice?
We should talk about the Hawks briefly, just because you guys are 7-11, but you've had a lot of great moments so far. And we were talking before Trey got on about how in certain games, the Boston one up there, for example, you've really sort of like risen to the competition. What have you seen from the team so far that you've liked? And then also just like looking forward, what do you feel like you guys got to do to kind of keep that level of consistency?
Yeah, I think we got a young team, and we're still learning, and we're learning how to win games, how to finish games, and there's been some games this year we've had some really good wins. We went to Boston, beat Boston, we beat New York, like Sacramento. Like these are good teams that we've beat. It's just there's been games where we've struggled like down the stretch. Like we go on. We're a very good starting team. Like we get out 10, 15-point leads, but we let teams back in it too easy, and then we let teams go on big runs against us. And I think it's being a young team, it's like your team goes on an 8-0 run. Like what do we do? What do we do next? Like do we slow down, or do we keep playing our game? Like it's all learning and what we're trying to overcome. But I think there's good. We're taking steps in the right direction, and like I said, being a young team, it's not going to come all just like that, but we're definitely, we're starting to move the right direction.
What do you see with them so far, Trey, that you've liked, besides the obvious, besides the person on this call?
Besides Dyson?
Yeah.
All right, that's mainly what I was going to speak about. But
I mean, you can say it too. You've already said enough shit. You might as well say something nice.
No, I have really good things to say about Dyson actually. So like that's why like I'm okay with talking about it right now. Like normally I would be hating saying something, but no, I think overall they just look like they're playing really free and just having fun. And that's the biggest thing I saw in the difference with Dyson. Like when he came to New Orleans, he just looked so much more just like free and just like not thinking out there. It's really one of those situations where like I can't be mad. Like we lost the game, but like, I can't be mad. Like this is one of my, it's almost like a little brother to me. And, you know, he's really just growing into his own and becoming the basketball player that he wants to be. And so I'm just super happy for him. And, you know, I wasn't surprised about like whenever they were talking about like Dyson having like 6 steals, 7 steals, like I wasn't surprised like at all. Like he has led the league or he's been like super high in deflections in the league every single year. And that's just because of his activity and how like just gifted he is as a defender. I remember after that Dallas game that he spoke about, the media was asking me like, how was he like, how's Dyson defensively? I was like, bro, he's 19 guarding Luka Doncic and giving Luka fits. Like when I was 19, I was getting cooked by Conference USA players. So like it's a world of difference, and it's just so crazy like how like at 19 he was doing all that. He was just so special defensively.
I was gonna ask.
No offense. Let me say no offense to Conference USA first.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
Smart.
Yeah, my bad, Conference USA, but it's not the NBA. They don't got no Luka Doncic's and Doncic's in the Conference USA.
Speaking of that, Dyson, to backtrack very slightly, just because we were talking about this before, your experience coming to the U.S. Can you just walk everybody through how you ended up at Ignite, how close you were to, you know, playing in college in the States, how you feel like that experience sort of went down and what may or may not have been different?
Yeah, so for me, you know, growing up in Australia, the path for people is usually Australia, NBL, or college, and you know that was kind of where I was headed. You know, I think I was like just turned 18, and I was like a month or two out from my decision of what I was going to do, and it was NBL or it was college in America. And I couldn't do visits because of COVID, but you know, Houston was, you know, really high on my list, and Colorado was another one that was high on my list, and I was kind of set on those two, you know, picking between them. And then NBL came along a little later, and they were giving me a good offer to play in the NBL, and I kind of swayed that way a little more. And like really late, like I'm talking like a week or two before I was going to choose what I wanted to do, Ignite came along, and they gave me an offer to play there. And you know, that kind of, you know, threw everything off a little bit, because you know, you know, I'd always watched Ignite and seen like the players that had gone through there and how they got drafted and stuff. And my end goal was to get to the NBA, so I was going to choose whatever was going to help me the most to get there. And I think, you know, doing a lot of Zoom calls and talking to a lot of people, Ignite was the best option, because you know the whole program's kind of set up to, you know, get you to the NBA.
Trey, in all seriousness, do you feel like you were taught defense in college? Not like shading coaches, but do you feel like it is a thing that like it's the same emphasis is put in the college game as it would be at a place like Ignite, where they're training you training you specifically for the NBA?
At Virginia?
Just in general. I'm not even talking about like your specific experience, but like in the American like college experience now.
I just think it depends on the coach and like what the whole culture of the program is, because at Rice, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, we were more of an offensive-based team. Like, we played some defense, but that wasn't like our identity. Our identity was that we were going to outscore you. But at Virginia, practice was 80% defense, and I have no exaggeration. Like, I probably took 10 shots during practice because we were playing defense for the whole time. And so then when you are playing defense that much, playing one-on-one, playing 3-on-3, 5-on-5, like doing different defensive drills, like you're going to get good at defense. It just is what it is. If you keep practicing it, you're going to get good at it. Obviously, there's a mindset piece to it as well, but they're going to give you the fundamentals and the foundation to be good at defenses. Now, like, what are you going to do to like use that?
Yeah, I think
but I would say that it's probably taught differently at the G League and night level, because, you know, you're learning NBA concepts.
Trey, before we draft, you got anything else?
I have another question for you. So what do you think was a turning point for you into making your strides, whether that is, and it doesn't have to be like a specific timeline, but like when you knew like all right, like I really have a chance to be a good player.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like my first 2 years in New Orleans, I loved it there. Don't get me wrong. Like I loved the organization. I loved the team we had. It's just I really didn't enjoy how I played. I don't think I showed what I could do. I don't think I was who was the player I wanted to be. And like I knew my first 2 years I was timid. Like I was I was just trying to fit in. Like I would have the mindset. Like I'd go to sleep every night, have the mindset like I know I can do more. I need to do more. And like I just wasn't like nothing was clicking for me. Going forward, and it's kind of this summer. As soon as the season ended, I got home and I just wanted to have a really good summer of work. I had my trainer come out to Australia with me for like 6 weeks before we got into our Olympic preparation, and going into Olympics, I got given a really good opportunity. They're the 2 spot to play 35 minutes a game and really just go out there and kind of be a dog on defense, which I've already done, but my offensive game came along. I was shooting the ball a lot better. I was getting to the rim, getting to the foul line, and that was kind of the turning point for me. And like, I think coming here to Atlanta is like a fresh start for me. I just wanted to come in with a clear head, a clear mind, and I think that's one thing that I've probably taken away from the start of this year to my New Orleans years is that I just have a free mind. I'm playing free. Like I'm not worrying about anything the outside world's saying or any of that. And in New Orleans, I had so much stuff built up in me mentally and physically. Like I was scared to do anything. And, this year I play free. I'm being myself. I'm going out there, making plays, and I always knew I could do it. It was just about letting it out. And it's hard to like pinpoint one thing that's happened in my game that is really kind of taken off, but it's just being myself. I think going out there playing free, not caring about what anyone thinks. And when you bottle up for 2 years in your head and you just let it out, that's good. Bird running free, whatever you want to call it, dog running free.
I don't know what the terms are y'all got in Australia or y'all catchphrases, but I think it's letting what, I'm not even going to say that one.
I had one in my head that I thought about saying it.
I think bird running free is pretty universal. I don't think that's just Australia.
Bird running free, bird flying free.
Bird flying free.
I thought you were saying like letting the juice loose or something.
Oh, no.
I was going to say a worse one, but
This is a PG podcast. I saw this thing you were saying, I think it was last night. It was one of the post games. You were talking about defending jump passes, and it was just being like, just deflect at all costs, basically, like just try to deflect, just deflect the pass at all costs. Have you changed anything specifically with like how you will like approach possessions? Because I mean, I'm sort of asking this for like the people watching at home who are not NBA players, but they want to lock up. Like, what do you say? Because your stats, I'm not even going to go through them, but the stats are crazy right now. And it's sort of why there's been, sort of so much, attention for the first month of the year. And so is there anything like specific when you like approach a defensive possession that you would just like give advice to?
Yeah, I think it starts with who you're guarding, knowing the scout, knowing what they like to do, knowing their tendencies. And I like to think I can take the ball off anyone whenever I want, but it's whether I take it off and I got 6 fouls in the first half, or I play smart and pick and choose when I want to go and attack the ball. And because I'm guarding the best guard every night. That like every guard nowadays they want to get to the free throw line. They're trying to figure out ways to get to the foul line. So it's about playing smart, and knowing when to reach, and knowing when to where to put your hands in and stuff. And I feel like a lot of my steals this year have come from, big guys and, coming off handoffs and, people turning their head and coming from behind and poking it loose and stuff. But, I like to think a lot of guards that, like to throw, the bounce pass and stuff, just having a hand low, having it in the way, or, reading their eyes, knowing when they're about to pass it and getting deflections and stuff like that. And I think, everyone can everyone can play defense and everyone can get deflections and stuff. It's more just about having active hands, knowing when they're going to pass and when they're going to shoot. And you can be you can be a really good defender and get steals and stuff, or you can just be a guy that gambles on everything, but you're a guy getting, easy buckets. So like I said, it's hard to explain, but like the scout is so important. Like I play a guy like Jalen Brunson, like he's trying to, shot fake, get you up, get to the line, like similar to SGA, whereas you play a guy like Cade Cunningham, he's trying to like bully you, go through you, you got to keep him out of the paint. Like everyone's different. And, it's about knowing to scout, knowing when I can attack the ball. And, I like to attack the ball when people's heads are turned and I'm coming from behind. I think that's where I get most of my steals and deflections from.
How much of that, take a guy like Jalen, for example, how much of this is also just learned experience and being like, you're talking about your first 2 years, you adapting and you getting that comfort level of being like now, besides obviously the rookies or guys that have been hurt, most of the best players in the league, it's not new for you anymore. So you are coming in, you're being like, even someone like Book who might have, done well against you, you're not really going to be surprised by anything you're seeing. Exactly.
And, I'd like to think I've played against every NBA player now that every superstar. And, like I said, like it's all about tendencies. And, I think like the game slows down. Like it slows down for you on offense, it slows down for you on defense. And the more you play, the more you get accustomed to, getting a feel for the game and a feel for players and stuff. And, I like to think that the game's just slowed down so much for me this year that I've been able to, have a bigger impact on both ends of the floor. And, like I said, coming in playing against a guy like Jalen Brunson, I know what he's going to try to do. I know he's going to try to get to the free throw line. I know he's trying to get to his mid-range pull-up. So it's about, whether at the point of the screen, like basketball is simple. Like there's screening actions, and like from there, like it's either down screen or it's on ball. It's either or back screen, and it's so simple that like it's just what does your player like to do? Like a guy like Jalen Brunson, I'll probably go under more on him because, he want to get to the mid-range more, pull up and stuff like that. Whereas, playing against the Warriors, like they play different to everyone, like chasing Steph around. Like I can't go for my steals that I usually go for. I can't gamble on that because if I do, I'm going to get burnt. Like they're so different to everyone where it's just like, I mean, I really hone in on what a player likes to do. I watch so much basketball. Like when I'm at home, like I just turn the TV on and put replays of games on and stuff like that, and just like a player's tendencies, which way they like to go. Basketball's about rhythm. Knowing what dribble they like to attack off. A guy like Dennis Schroeder, he has his move where he turns his head and he quickly goes baseline. So it's just about knowing your player and really in tune with, locking in what they're going to do at that point in time.
Has Steph gotten you yet? Has he had a moment against you?
Steph, like I'm pretty good at getting through screens with Steph, but like Warriors, they run plays to where like Steph gets easy layups, like where I'm on his high side and like they'll just back cut him and get an easy layup.
Oh yeah, they put that one on film for an edit for the Warriors this year, so I do remember that one.
They do like things to counter like how he's getting defended, and their team's so good at playing. Off Steph and like putting Steph in the corner because they know that the low man's not going to be there to help, and having a pick and roll on the other side where they can just feed it to Jackson Davis in there and for a lob or something like that. That like I think Steve Kerr's a really good coach in that sense and what he does. So. I wouldn't say he's really gone off on me, but like he gets me on these like little things that you just don't expect. Like little like he'd be looking this way and Draymond will just throw it, he quickly turn, he's at the rim, like the stuff that other teams don't do.
Trey, you got anything else you want to draft?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about my stuff moment. So yeah, we can just draft.
Welcome back to our draft segment presented by our friends at New Era. We are drafting today on the show necessities on a 17-hour flight because our friend Dyson has to do that every time he has to go home. And so, Dyson, how about you start us off?
First thing you need is some headphones.
Good. That's a good pick.
That's respectable.
That's a great first pick. There's actually no. If you don't have headphones on a 17-hour flight, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. You can't have you also can't use the plain headphones because they're always horrible.
They don't connect to your phone anyway.
Yeah.
Actually, Tommy's phone is compatible. He has one of the Androids, so it's my turn. So I would say charger because even if you have headphones, you don't have a charger, your phone dies. And the headphones mean nothing anyway. So charger is my first pick.
Phone charger.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, here's the question though I would have. Will you ever just airplane it? No pun intended. Just be like, I don't want to talk to anybody for 17 hours. Like you want to be on your phone for 17 hours straight?
No, you got movies as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so I don't want. Okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
We don't want to
you ruining your draft picks and
We don't want to
stuff,
step
bro.
on the pick. I'm just saying. I like Dyson's pick. I don't love Trey's first pick. I think that's a reach.
Anyway, so
I think it's
matter.
a reach for the first, but
you draft bad, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, my first one is aisle seat. I'm going aisle seat, and then I'm going gummies for a second one.
What type of gummies are you talking about exactly?
Just gummies.
Okay. So aisle seat, I'm not a fan of that one because knowing my foot or elbow gets hit whenever I'm in the aisle seat. So
wait, so you'd rather be middle?
No, I'd be on the side.
The window?
Yeah, window.
I paid at 112
he's got his Learjet now.
No. Let's calm down. For my second pick, I'm gonna say book. I don't know if some of you all read, but I read books on the plane too. So
okay.
Yeah. Please say something bad about that one.
He does this at every show. He tries to act like he's smarter than everybody else on the show. So he's talking about books.
No, because how are you gonna sound being like, oh, books? That's a bad pick.
All right, Dyson, I have a question. How many times on trips when you guys were on the team plane did you see Trey with a book?
I just started this. So don't ask me that.
Trey is the only one that wants to play cards every time. He's like a fiend for like Boo-ray. Like
I need my money.
I'm be trying to sleep. Trey want to play cards.
Fair. Okay. All right, Dyson, you got 2 picks.
Okay, I'm gonna say you need a toothbrush and some toothpaste. It's 70-hour flight. You get 2 meals in. Like you need to be cleaning your teeth. And then I'm gonna say you need. Well, no one said movies, did they?
No, you can.
Yeah, you need movies for the flight. It's a long flight. You need to watch some movies.
Any specifics?
I'm an action guy, so any action movie would be good. They usually have a good range anyway on the plane, so whatever you want.
I think action movies is a good one. That works. All right, Trey.
All right, for my third pick, I'm going to say sweatsuit because if you're on a 17-hour flight with jeans on, it's criminal, truly. So, and then sweatsuit, so then your skin isn't touching the seats. And so, yeah, I think that's a pretty good pick right there.
Like that. You got to be comfortable. Any brand in particular or just anything?
Spider.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Shout out the gang.
All right. My third one is person next to you shutting up. So just making sure that no one talks to you on the flight, because I think the most annoying thing is no matter who it is, just a chatterbox next to you. So quiet seatmate, I guess I would call it.
I can't be mad at that. I'd be quiet for 17 hours. So
quiet seatmate. And then I think for my fourth one, I'm gonna go with you guys might not agree with this, but I want red eye because I have to do the flight where I'm sleeping for like
17 hours. It don't matter if it's a red eye.
No, but I'm like, I gotta start late. I gotta start at like midnight. I gotta start at like midnight.
Whenever I go on them flights, I'm like, I either try not to sleep or 1-2 hours sleep just so I can be tired for the flight.
Yep. All right, Trey, you got 2 more.
All right, for my fourth pick. You said gummies already, so I can't say what snack I want. Honestly, iPad. I'm an iPad kid, so I need my iPad so I can watch my YouTube videos. A lot of times, basketball highlights. So I'll be on my little iPad playing games and stuff.
Also, you can use your charger, your first pick, to charge the iPad.
Hey, my things are running together, you know?
How about that? It's pretty special. All right, Dyson, you got one more.
I'm going to say you
got
need
2 more.
If you go on a 17-hour flight, you obviously go into another country. So you need the country's wall block, like the blocking of the wall, because, I always get to Europe and I never have the right charger to charge my phone. I can't charge it. So you need that. I just get one.
You get last one. Close it out. You get 5th.
And I'm going to say, for me, I need the neck pillow. I can't do the flights without a neck pillow. It's just turn my head to the right, got a pillow there, left, whatever you need. So the neck pillows are a must-have.
Yo, Tommy, this is a special circumstance, but I want to prove a point for my pick. I will skip my pick, let you go and make your 2, and then make my pick. Are you willing to make that deal?
Yeah, I mean, I got 1, but sure, if you really want to do it.
You have 1 left?
I'm welcome, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you make your pick first.
Okay. Passport.
Okay.
Because if you fly 17 hours and you realize I guess you couldn't get on the plane, but if for whatever reason you're able to get on the plane. Actually, I gotta take that because you can't get on. You can't get on. I already took it. I already forgot. That was a bad pick. I fucked that up. It's already inserted. I couldn't get on the plane because I would just be like, how annoying would it be to fly from LA to Melbourne, and then you're like, oh shit, they're not gonna let me in. So I would just say, I would say documentation for the country. Because I do know during COVID, Australia and New Zealand, for example, it was COVID, so it was different. But it was you had to have all kinds of forms and stuff. You couldn't just roll in. So I would say documentation for the country.
You're not going to explain your way out of that bad pick, bro. I'm sorry.
Fifth pick. All right, Trey, what's your 5th one? Why'd you need to?
So my 5th one is deodorant. Because if you're on a 17-hour flight and none of y'all pick deodorant, that's a shame. That is a shame. I'm for both of you. So that's what I wanted to say. Deodorant is my last pick. 17-hour flights. Needs a spray. I think
it's a cool pick. I just think he picked toothbrush and toothpaste. You're acting like it wasn't he didn't do sanitary shit. This is him being oh, I'm smarter than you. So you got to change the thing. All right. Guys, we've taken up enough of your time. Thank you for joining us. We will see you hopefully soon. Keep crushing. Trey, any final words?
Just keep being yourself, bro. Keep playing free, playing aggressive. It really, really warms my heart when I check my phone after games and I see you got 28.6 steals. That shit is really dope, bro. For real. Super happy for you and keep doing it. That's it.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Thanks for having me. It was good to chat some shit for once. So it's good.
All right, man. Thanks.
I appreciate it, brother.